Real honour for the sport of horse racing to be part of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. The Queen missing the Derby for just the third time in her 70-year reign. Yesterday, even the Archbishop of York in Westminster Abbey gave a nod to her love of horse racing.
The Queen never forgot when she went to see a thoroughbred for the first time. She couldn't believe this incredible creature that was presented in front of her. The thoroughbred has captured her imagination ever since, profoundly.
Right, to celebrate the Derby as a Platinum Jubilee year, delighted to be joined by Sir Michael Stamp, Ryan Moore, and Her Majesty the Queen's Bloodstock and Racing Advisor, John Warren. And John, if we could start with the Queen's love of the horse and racing, why?
The Queen, at a very young age, became a very, very accomplished horsewoman. There's a sort of common theme between all the family, that they understand the successes and all the challenges that the horse creates.
Ryan, what's it like to ride for Her Majesty the Queen? Do you feel an extra pressure?
Oh no, there's no pressure at all. I've been very fortunate to ride for Her Majesty since I was quite young. Maybe there's more pressure on other people like John or Michael, but
it's only the pressure you put upon yourself because it doesn't come from her. She's been there, knows it.
No, not the dish.
She's a breeder who loves information.
she understands racing, she understands what can happen, what can go right and what can go wrong. She's always let me ride with complete freedom, and it's been a tremendous honour for me throughout my whole career to ride for her.
The interest in the information, I imagine she's a brilliant listener.
She's a tremendous listener, and I think obviously in her 70 years of effectively owning thoroughbreds, it's no surprise to her when things go wrong with the horse, because they do. So she's very understanding of all that it takes to actually achieve the main objective.
Estimate is one of the great stories and one of the great days winning the Gold Cup. Did you think Estimate had all the right credentials to win a race of that nature?
Honestly, I think it was always very straightforward with her. She was an uncomplicated filly to ride. She was bred to do that job.
She had a wonderful temperament. She liked Ascot. It was, the obvious race, really.
Estimate in the centre of your picture, in the scarlet sleeves with every chance.
The final furlong, we did forget ourselves in a way, because it was so exciting.
Estimate has a neck in hand. There's coming on. A royal win in the Gold Cup. Estimate has done it.
It was a very special, unique moment, and the Queen afterwards was so full of joy. It was tremendous.
Later, Ryan and I were having a chat with the Queen, and she said, "Oh, I see you got 2 days for interference," and said, accidental? And he just looked at the Queen and said, "No, ma'am." She quite liked that.
Paul Benny has that wonderful painting in the Jockey Club rooms of Her Majesty the Queen with Estimate, with them having a moment together.
Yes, I think the painting sums up the affection the Queen has with the horse, and I think it's not necessarily all about the stage, it's all about the process and giving every horse the best opportunity it can possibly have to achieve its best outcome.
Carlton House. If we go back to the Dante, you swooped past Seville and the commentator went,
The dream of a Royal Derby winner alive as Carlton House wins the Dante.
at that point, what did you think you had?
He was a very good horse, and he won that race for a turn of foot. At that stage, all his work had been good, and I thought he had every attribute that he needed going towards it.
Is it true, though, that there was a hiccup?
Yeah, he was doing his last gallop, and he heard the photographer laying on the grass and clicking his camera, and he stepped to the right and he knocked his joint on the doors on the gallops.
For the trainer, what's that going to be like? So you've won the Dante, all of a sudden, you've got a serious contender for the Derby for Her Majesty the Queen, and then this happens.
Yes, and it's getting pretty close to the race. Obviously a big concern, but it's also a real nuisance, because the horse is getting interrupted because vets are going in and those little things, you know, they come back to haunt you.
And they're off. Carlton House not the fastest away.
The race never went smoothly. There was some poor horses in the race that were ridden forward, and I made a decision round the bend to go round this outsider. I wish it, with hindsight, I would have waited and taken a chance and gone inside. And who knows, it might have made the difference of him getting there on the day.
Cornwall coming on the outer and celebrates as if he's won the Derby, Mikel Barcelona.
He lost his shoe as well. On its own, it might not have made the difference, but collectively, all the minor margins and the challenges to get anywhere, that's what makes the race so fascinating. The Derby is so unique, it's so specialised, dealing with young, immature horses that are only just coming of age. So the Derby is the most remarkable race, and I think that's why it's so coveted.